everyone, welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host, Jennifer. The reason I'm your yarn host is because I love yarn. I love it. So a couple of things. Today we are doing a contrast and comparison video on these two yarns. Why these two yarns? Okay, one is Lion Brand, one is Premier. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to say this outright. Premier Yarns is my favorite yarns of all times. Lion Brand is good yarn. I love Lion Brand. I love some of Lion Brand. I don't like all of Lion Brand. Of course, I don't love all of Premier Yarns either. Let's be honest. However, I do very much love Premier Yarns. I am going to give this review, this comparison, a 100% fair shake. I'm not into trying to promote something that I don't like, and I never have, and I never will. I have had things on my channel that have been a total opportunity for me to make money, and I have still said, I don't like this. This is garbage. So, with that being said, let's keep that in mind. I try to give everything a fair shot. I picked these two colorways, even though this colorway has been discontinued from Premier Yarns, but it is still the same yarn. It is the Premier Everyday Anti-Pilling Acrylic yarn. It is one of my favorites, and when someone suggests or asks me, like, what is a good yarn for baby products? What is a good yarn for chemo caps? What is a good yarn for soft and durable yarn? I give them anything that says Premier, Everyday, or Anti-Pilling on it. Those three combinations in any way, shape, or form. That's the yarn I recommend most times. I got this basic stitch from Lion Brand in the Lion Brand Santa sack a while ago. I will link that video below. Check it out. And I wanted to compare the two. And I wanted to, because I've never used this. I've never used the basic stitch yarn. And I picked this one because the colorway is so similar. But like I said, this one is discontinued. And I'm going to do a quick little research, and I will tell you the prices. I will be right back. So after doing a quick little look online, these are the same price. Premier Yarns on the Premier Everyday on Premier Yarns website is $4.49. I've seen it on other websites for $4.99, so $4.50. The basic stitch right now is at Joann's for $4.54, so $4.50 for each of these, same price. Now, let's do a little comparison yardage. The yardage, depending on, because the Premier Everyday Anti-Pilling comes in stripes, it comes in solids, it comes in, sometimes the yardage will vary slightly, but they're all around 180 yards, okay, for $4.50. This is a medium number 4 worsted weight anti-pilling acrylic, 100% anti-pilling acrylic. Premier's claims on the yarn is that you can wash their anti-pilling acrylic for up to 300 times with no pills or no damage done to the yarn. So it doesn't get those little fuzz balls. And if it starts to fuzz up a little bit, if you throw it in the washer and dryer, the fuzzes will fall off. So that is their claim with their yarn. I have found it to be true. I have abused my anti-pilling acrylic, and I have not had anything, damage it. The basic stitch is also anti-pilling acrylic. It is 153 yards. It is a smaller ball. They both say that they're machine washable and dryable. They both say that they are a worsted weight number 4. They both recommend about the same size hooks and needles. The Lion Brand is called Nightfall. I don't know if this is a discontinued colorway. And the Premier Yarns is Black Tone. But these come in a wide variety of colors and shades. And, just this comes in solids as well as this. Like, you have lots of options. Now, if I come in, I'm going to adjust my light because this is black yarn. If you come in and you really look at the yarn, you will see that, at least I hope it comes up, there is more of a sheen or a slippery feeling to the Premier yarns. It has a nice sheen to it. Is very, very soft and smooth. It works up really well, but I will work up some samples with my crochet hook and show you guys. I'm not going to do knit samples today. We're just doing crochet. The Lion brand looks like it is spun like different. Let me see if I can. It looks a little bit fluffier, plumper, thicker. It looks more dull, not as shiny, but like some people don't like shiny, so like that, I'm not going to take points off for that. But it does look thicker. Does it feel thicker? Let me put my light down. I think when you work it and when you stretch it out, it's just about the same about thickness. Wow. The camera just got dark. So, yeah. It does look like it's spun differently, though. It has a different texture to it. It looks, when you're looking at it, it looks not quite as silky smooth, but it's still soft. It's not, I think, let me close my eyes and see. It is just slightly less slick as the Premier yarns, but it's the same softness. It is the same softness. Let me get my light in there. I'll back the camera up a little bit so that we can work on some samples. I'm going to pull out, center pull, some yarn. I totally did not grab the center. I felt that I didn't grab the center. I felt it. Of course, I came through a weird loop. All right, that wasn't too bad. This recommends a 5mm hook, but what I have on hand is a 6mm hook because it's my new hook and I want to play with it. So, with that being said, the camera is doing funky things today. I'm going to have to keep an eye on it. I'm going to use my 6mm hook because it's new and it's so pretty. All right, so we're not here to talk about my hook. I'm just going to work up a little swatch. And then I am going to work the Lion brand right on top of this swatch so that it's one piece. So that I can get an idea of what, you know, just I want to be able to close my eyes and feel and see if I can feel the difference between the yarns. So I'm just going to do a small swatch. And again, this is with a 6mm hook. Which seems to be working just fine. I don't think I would go smaller than a 6mm with this. Because I don't like my stitches. Now, if you like your stitches tight, if you know, you're going to have to figure out for yourself what hook you want to use. But for me, like this seems to be, I crochet kind of tight, I think. So I think using a 6 is just fine, even though that says 5mm. I just did half double crochets. Next row we'll do double crochets. A lot of people ask me why I chain 1 and then put the double crochet in the same stitch instead of chaining 3. I just prefer that method. There's lots of methods you can do when you do double crochets. For me, like if I were to chain 3 as my double crochet here, I would get like a big loop where my stitches would stick out, and I don't like that. That's the only reason I do it. I just chain 1 and then put the double crochet in that same stitch. It also helps me because I struggle really hard with keeping my my rows even and straight, and sometimes I'll either add or subtract stitches where I'm not supposed to, and that helps me to keep my edges a little straighter. But it does not work for everyone, and that is perfectly okay. There, so got that. It's feeling, and I've worked with this yarn a lot, so I'm very familiar with how this yarn works up I love this yarn. It is very soft, squishy, does not irritate my skin. Let's try a row of single crochets. And it's why I love this yarn so much. This is, to me, and even though it's not super expensive at $5 a ball, this is, to me, good yarn. So it's the good yarn that I will save for special projects. Like some of the stuff that I've made for my baby niece has been made with the anti-pilling acrylic, either from Premier Yarns or Universal, which are the same company. So, you know, it's the same yarn. Very soft, very squishy, very easy to work with. Very beautiful. And do the star stitch. Although the star stitch is probably not going to be real evident because this is black yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. That's it. I got it. Gotta pay attention when you're doing stitches, Jennifer. See, and now I'm not paying attention because I talked. How dare I? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. There we go. Got it. Chain 1. I have, I believe, also done a video where I compared anti-pilling yarns at Walmart, because Walmart does have an anti-pilling yarn as well. But because I already did that, I didn't bring it in with the Line Brand, but I wanted to do head-to-head Line Brand versus Premier Yarns. Because why the heck not? Right? And then I'm just going to put an extra stitch down there just for the heck of it, because sometimes, you know, just I feel like it. Now, working with black yarn was probably not the best idea because I'm having a hard time seeing, but I can always bring my light down closer. See if that helps. That helped. That definitely helped me. You might not see a difference because my camera adjusts for different lighting, so but it helped me to see better. Stitch, chain 1. Do another row of half doubles. And then I'm going to attach the Lion Brand and do the same type of stitches. This yarn, even though it is not coated in anything, when I work with it, it gives me the impression that there's lotion on it. So have you ever used like regular Kleenex on your nose and then you use like the Puff Plus with lotion, you know, the lotioned stuff? That is the difference between regular yarn and Premier anti-pilling everyday acrylic. To me, is the difference between regular Kleenex and Kleenex with lotion in it, because it feels to me like the good Kleenex with lotion in it. So that's what I equate it to. I know you guys think I'm crazy. I equate yarn to weird stuff. I compared Malabrigo to toilet paper the other day, because not bad toilet paper, but good toilet paper. You know, people in the comments were like, "What is wrong with you? You're crazy." That's just how I got yarn barf with that. I totally did. But it's untangling very easily. That's another thing with anti-pilling acrylic, is that it usually doesn't stick on itself like at all, so it frogs really easily, and if you get yarn barf, it won't like tangle and do a huge mess. Oops. Banging my hook on stuff. We're almost there. We're almost there. All right, now I'm just going to chain this in. Starting with half double crochets like we did that bottom row. This, rub in between, because the way I hold my yarn here, it rubs here. And this is a very sensitive part of my hand. I can feel a slight difference there. I don't know if it's going to irritate me or not, because I have very sensitive skin on my hands. I have very sensitive skin anyway, but certain yarns just irritate me. I can feel the difference there, but as of right now, it's not like irritating, you know? It feels plump. It feels plump. It does. Trying to determine. I think it feels more plump than the Premier yarns. I mean, you could see that it looked thicker, but it's feeling thicker to me than the Premier yarns. Not much, but maybe like the difference between like a worsted and an Aran. Even though they're both labeled as worsted. Just mildly difference. Yeah, I'm speeding up and it's not bothering me. Now, I obviously am not going to go wash this 300 times to let you know how the anti-pilling is. But for me, I go by what it feels like when I'm working with it. It definitely does not have, well, maybe mildly it has the lotiony feel, but not as like, the Premier yarn is definitely slicker, like feels more lotiony. Even though it does not leave residue on your hand at all. It's not like that, but it just feels like maybe it's been like really nicely conditioned hair. You know, it's just softer. It's softer. It's slicker a little bit. All right, so we did that. So let's do the star stitch. So I have to actually think about what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3. Chain. Did that wrong. I went in the wrong hole. I'm having problems today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. And when I'm done with this, I'm gonna close my eyes and feel this. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I can tell the difference because one is thicker than the other. I can feel the difference in the thickness between the Line Brand and the Premier. I have never worked a star stitch with a variegated yarn like this. I'm like, where the heck are my stitches at? I've always only ever done star stitch with like solid or semi-solid, so this is like confusing the heck out of me. Gotta feel more than I can see. I will end it in half doubles, just like we did the previous yarn. Yeah, this is not as soft as Premier. It's not. There is a slight irritation in between my fingers. Bless you, Mr. Cinnamon. He drives me nuts. I don't know why he has to scream at you when he sneezes. He knows I'm in here filming. Husbands. So, feel like I decreased or something when I went up here. So looking at it, I mean, it's obviously two different colorways. One is variegated, one is not. Yeah. I prefer the Premier Everyday Anti-Pilling Acrylic. I'm not going to even pretend like it's my favorite yarn of all times of ever. But this is decent yarn. Like, it's decent yarn. It feels good in the skein. It just has a slight irritation that most people are not going to notice because most people don't have the skin problems I have. Now, if I close my eyes and I spin it around and I do all this craziness, okay, my eyes are completely closed, guys, okay? This is the Lion brand. My eyes are still closed. And I can tell because it's thicker. That's how I can tell. Is it's thicker? They are just as soft worked up. My eyes are still closed. Yeah. Yeah. It's just thicker. It's thicker and it's slightly, and maybe it's the way that it's spun that it is irritating my skin because I feel like the twists. That's a possibility. But it's just like, it didn't even turn me red. It just a little bit of drying out, you know? That's it. This just feels slightly more lotiony, but it's good yarn. I mean, yeah. It's a little more expensive because you're only getting 153 yards for $4.54, whereas you're getting 180 yards for $4.49. So, yeah. I'm going to say if you couldn't get the Premier where you live, or there was a good sale on the Lion brand Basic Stitch, I say go for it. Shoot. This is definitely soft enough for baby products. It's soft enough to make a tank top for yourself and not wear anything like undergarments, if you get what I'm saying. So it's not going to like rub and irritate your skin. It is soft enough to wear against your face, your neck. I prefer that one, but we already know that. But yeah, it's decent yarn. It's decent. I like it. I like it. I don't like them together because that looks kind of fun. Oh, you guys want to see it peel? Yeah, you want to see it pulled out? Anti-pilling acrylic is really good for being able to pull it out. You can frog really easily. It does not stick on itself. And like I said, it doesn't really tangle a lot either. All right, there's that. Now we'll frog this one. See? Frog, frog, frog. Easy, easy, easy. You make a mistake. Although I don't frog. Can I tell you, I don't frog. Unless I decide I don't want to make that, the yarn is not speaking to me for that project, I don't frog stuff. I just go with the flow and try to fix it later. No big deal. That's how we do. Yeah. All right. In the Battle Royale, Premier versus Lion brand. Who reigns supreme? Well, Premier because favorite. But Lion brand is right next to it. It's right next to it. And like I said, not Michael's. Walmart also has anti-pilling acrylic yarn for cheaper than both of these yarns. That is decent. It is really good. And I will link that video below in case you want to do a side-by-side comparison of the Premier versus, and then you can make your opinions on that. There's not a lot of colors available in Walmart, but I'm sure there's more colors available online, but it's still a really decent yarn. And I think the brand is Mainstay. So thank you so much for watching. I really enjoy these yarn side-by-side comparisons because I don't always know what my opinion is going to be beforehand. I know that this is my favorite yarn, and I kind of knew going in, just feeling them, that it was going to be my favorite and it was going to win, but I never know until I work with the yarn. But this is good yarn. It's good yarn. It is. And I like Lion brand. Lion brand has good stuff. So check those out. Make your own decisions on what you prefer. But like, this is the best job in the world because I literally just get to record myself playing with yarn. It's so much fun. I highly suggest it. I suggest if you have some yarn in your stash and you're like, oh, I wonder what that yarn is like versus this yarn, go ahead and play and put swatches together like that for yourself and, you know, do your own little playtime with your yarn where you're not actually making anything. You're just playing with it and seeing if you like it and seeing what, you know, it looks like worked up. Make your own swatches, people. All right, I will let you go and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.